this is like the first time that I felt like true nostalgia, right? So, as I mentioned, for me, the era of COD is really COD 4 through Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 came out when we were in early high school, right? So for all of like late high school, that's when I had kind of my RPG kick, and that's when I really abandoned COD and was just playing a lot more retro games. And
I don't want to play with you anymore. Just drop
I really did. I did do the Andy in Toy Story 2 moment, and throw Call of Duty to the wayside like that. And so I didn't play it for 3-4 years, and then I went to college and everything, and the first semester is very hard, and so I came back for that first winter break, and I remember I just got this I had this weird craving to play a first person shooter. I hadn't had that in a long time, and I owned Killzone 2 and 3 for the PS3, which, if you've played them, I mean, they're fine games by all means. Especially, I have some great memories with Killzone 3.
Is that? Oh, never mind. Sorry. I just answered my own question in my head. I was going to ask if that was the one that Insomniac did, but no, that was Resistance. Never mind. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, the other PlayStation shooter. Yeah. Killzone 3, I have a lot of good memories with the multiplayer, which we can tell in this episode. But anyway,
nice.
I fired up Killzone 2 or 3, and the problem with them is that they are so weighty, and that was the point. Right? I get it. That was the gimmick of the game, was that you're supposed to feel that you're carrying all that shit, right? Yeah. It's a very heavy, slow game. It is.
You shoot a gun and the bullet drops immediately. And you're like, what the fuck?
Are we on Jupiter? But anyway, it kind of feels like that, honestly. So anyway. It's a very heavy feeling game, and it's very slow and slow paced compared to Call of Duty. And I just was you know what, this ain't doing it. And so I think I downloaded Modern Warfare 2 on an impulse from the PlayStation Store, and I was gosh, I just, for some reason, this just overcame me. I just need to play Modern Warfare 2 now, and it I hadn't felt that in 5 years at that point, and I fired up the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, and you know how, first of all, the intro, that theme is Hans Zimmer. Other folks worked on other songs in that game, but that opening cutscene is Hans Zimmer. And the opening cutscene for Modern Warfare 2 is a recap of COD 4 with this just fucking incredibly epic song playing in the background. Yeah. And I was just
I just had this gunshot as it shoots Akayev.
Yes, exactly. And then does that 5 years later, whatever, right? And so, and when they do that, when the missile goes off in COD 4 and everything, there's all that, right? They recap all that good stuff with that theme going, and just me watching that again for the first time. So at that point, I'm 19, and I hadn't seen that since I was 14. And so literally it's 5 years later, and just seeing that, I had never felt that yet, because I was you're 19, you're still pretty dang young, you don't miss your childhood yet, but that was after leaving home for the first time, that first semester in college, and I came back and was playing it in my childhood bedroom, and I had felt like I had left, and so I really got that, just that humongous first ever big wave of nostalgia during that Modern Warfare 2 opening cutscene. So awesome game, and I put it on a pedestal because of that, Yeah,
I mean, it is the best. I mean, in terms of just, I probably think all around it's probably the best Call of Duty game, because the multiplayer is amazing. I think it's got the best campaign, and Spec Ops, even though it's not as good as Zombies, is still really fun.
Spec Ops is really unique. It's really fun. Those missions are so damn hard. So I have 70% of the trophies. Because I did beat it.
I legit, the only trophy I don't have is finishing all the Spec Ops missions, because I'm missing the ones that you need 2 players. And none of my friends wanted to do them with me to get the all 3 stars or whatever.
Star 69.
Yeah.
That's the name of the trophy. I know, Brian. It haunts me, all right?
Yeah, it's annoying. And I wanted to do a quick aside, because we're going to get back to Call of Duty, because there was something else to mention about it. But when you mentioned nostalgia, I don't remember when my first thing of nostalgia was, but I remember the most intense I've ever had was it was like around the time, maybe I think it was a senior in high school. You know, I went to a Catholic school. I'm not, I was Catholic then. I'm not Catholic now. I'm very much, I'm more agnostic. But anyway, so like for that, you had to do like volunteer hours.
Yes.
And
I went to public school and had to do that too, so don't worry. But
I don't know.
Yes,
I thought it was
to
some Catholic school thing because they framed it as that.
I mean, it probably is.
Yeah. Anyway, the most fun I had volunteering was Philadelphia Marathon. I volunteered as like the guy who like holds the water for people. That shit was so fun. That was some of the most fun I've ever had volunteering. Was the 2 years I did that. Even though the second year was cold as shit.
As it tends to be.
Yeah, it was because it's like we were in that area in Philly. I forget what street it is, man. But it was like it was right by the Insomnia cookies and shit.
Like the original one.
I possibly, I don't know, but they
like near Penn. Yeah.
It was like up a hill and like all the buildings formed like this wind tunnel, and it was freezing that one year. But yeah, that was probably the most fun I had. But anyway, the nostalgia one was I actually volunteered at my my grade school because I also went to a Catholic grade school, which is they don't split up elementary and middle school, so you were there from kindergarten through 8th grade. And I had I'd been back there for I've been back to the gym because we had this thing that like for CYO, which was the Catholic youth organization, or whatever the hell.
I know all about it, dog.
Yeah.
I know all.
I'm explaining it to everybody else.
As a good Philadelphian child, I know all the Catholic kid stuff. I was not a Catholic kid, but I know all about it. Yeah.
But for like basketball and sports and stuff, like typically that stops 8th grade. Like that's for like 8th grade and stuff. But a lot of the coaches, because my dad was one of the coaches, and like.
Yeah.
A lot of the other coaches were like, for some of the students who like, for some of the kids like who were in high school who still wanted to play sports and stuff but didn't want to do it like, they didn't want to like try out for like high school teams and all that because they didn't want to take it like too seriously. They like made like another like a pretty much like a high school league for CYO, like if enough teams and enough players wanted to do it. So like I would be there for high school like at the gym and stuff, at a like basketball gym, playing like that kind of stuff, and that was probably some of the most fun I've ever had, like playing sports, because there wasn't like that competitiveness of like you go to a different school than me, so I hate you. Like it was like that. It was like that. Like I still remember this. Like I would like shoot someone, like airball it, and then some kid on the other bench would be like, "Nice shot, Brian." I'd be like, "Shut up! I'll see you in math class."
So this is multiplayer IRL. What's this got to do with COD?
But yeah, like the first. So I'd been to the gym a lot and all that, and to the church,
right?
Because I was back when I was still a good children of God, a good child of Jesus. But the
this video.
But I had never been like in the school building since like my 8th grade, like my last like 8th grade class.
That'll do you.
Yeah,
that'll do you dirty. Yeah,
I was like in the cafeteria, like helping out with something, like volunteering for something, and I still remember it was like late in the night. It was like kind of like dark. It was dark outside, and I still remember I was like, you know what, like before I leave, I'm gonna take a walk around the school because like nobody's here. Why not, right? And I still remember like it didn't really hit me until I like went upstairs because like from the way my school worked was like it was like kindergarten and first grade are on the first floor. Oh, I'm sorry, kindergarten, first grade, and second grade are on the first floor, and then 3rd grade through 8th grade were the second floor. And it didn't really hit me until I went up to the second floor and I saw my 8th grade classroom. I saw the bathroom that was right next to it. And I was like, holy shit. Like it was like I had like full on memories.
Is that the first place you ever hit a vape?
No, I don't think vapes were like a thing.
They weren't. That's why it's.
We were in 8th grade. Yeah, all right.
Eighth. They were not. Vapes did not exist. Vapes didn't exist until we were in like college. Yeah.
Yeah. And like
it was like 8th grade bathroom. Dog.
No, it was just you were kids giving you purple nurples at the urinal.
Yeah, that was more what our generation did, huh? Yeah.
And you're like, hey, But yeah, like I was like walking down that hallway and like looking into the classrooms and stuff, and I was like, holy shit, dude! Like that was like one of the first. That was like probably the hardest I've ever been hit with like nostalgia. Like I had like flashbacks
Yeah.
Like it was like vivid memories. I was like, I like forgot that I did this.
Yeah, I
pretty
can't
cool
even
moment.
imagine. I can't even imagine what that would be like. So during COVID, I was still at my childhood house. I was just hanging out there for a while because not much to do, and I would take walks and go on runs because like I said, it was COVID. What else did you do? And I would walk past like my high school and middle school all the time because it was just like a good loop if I did that. Right. And it was definitely a little bit intentional too to get that like nostalgia hit by like being like outside of the school. But I have not been in any of my schools, gosh, in close to 10 years. And my elementary school is on the ground. I have a brick from my elementary school in my house. Like it's demolished, and so
Yeah.
I will never get to see that again. And then, but my middle school and high school and my preschool are all still standing because my preschool is a church, and so they're all still standing. But I have not been in like the high school forever, and I could not imagine what it would be like to just walk around my high school. Like, and that's so cool that you're telling it like at night and stuff. Like, I have such an appreciation for that. Like it being late at night, and you're like the only person in there, and it's just like got that eerie like school after dark like feeling, and you're just like
it was like
it
was like like when in like games or like in movies and stuff, when like the one person is like fucking walking through something and it's kind of like all quiet and stuff, but then they hear the voices of like echoes of like memories in their head. That's kind of what it was like legitimately.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
I'd like to hear the fucking because we had to wear these like Skechers loafers and shit. I could hear them like fucking screeching on the floor and shit, and like the people like dropping pencils and shit. It was insane. And I because enough time has passed. If I went back to my high school, I'd probably have like the same moment.
Exactly. I went back like once or twice when I was like early college, just to like say hi to some of my teachers, and that was like it. Like I went back like like I said, like one or two times, and just to be like, hey, look at me, I'm in college, lol, one of those dorks. But I'll explain it in that we had a very small high school, and we were very tight knit, and we had a lot of the teachers. Like I had some teachers for all 4 years, and some even since middle school, and then went up into high school with me. And so, these are people who were like, a second family at that point. So like, yes, you go back and see them. I know for anyone watching who went to like a big high school, you're probably like, what the hell? But it's something that people did in my hometown for sure. But you don't do it.
Visiting high schools, like, that was always a thing. And I like thought about doing that, but a lot of like the teachers that I had that I was like kind of close with, they either like they moved to like other schools and stuff. So I was like, I don't know, there were still some teachers there who I would have liked to see and everything, but I was like, I don't want to just show up. I feel awkward. Of just like being like, hey.
Well, my thing is, nobody did it though. Once you're in like your like third or fourth semester, you never.
You only did it. It was a freshman sophomore year thing.
Like, Yep. Yeah, you never did it once you became a real adult.
Like, as soon as you became a junior, you were like, fuck that shit. Like,
absolutely.
Unless you want to have a good time, you wear like a shirt that says like fucking smoke grass, eat ass, like
and wear that into your high school and go to jail. Go to jail. But
anyways, do drugs and then you leave.
Yeah, so the whole. I mean, obviously, we're just nostalgic motherfuckers in general, but so obviously we got kind of way off the video game chat, but it all kind of ties together, because like COD like reminds me of. Those times and stuff. And
early high school shit, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's Call of Duty for me. And that's,